Hello, I'm Maciej Mikos. Welcome back to World Talks, where every word matters. Some 50,000 Poles die every year of diseases caused by poor air quality. Will the Clean Air Programme help the situation? Well, to talk about it, we're joined by Deputy Minister of Climate and Environment, Krzysztof Bolesta. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for accepting our invitation. Now, let's start with Poland and the US. One of President Biden's signature policies was massive investment in green energy. Now, how do you think his departure will impact the global fight against climate change and air pollution?
Well, he already had an impact introducing what we call IRA, so Inflation Reduction Act. It's a massive tax rebate system in the US. So basically, if you are an investor, you can write off your climate action-related investment in batteries, in renewables, all these technologies. And I think that he already made his legacy, so no one will dare, I think, to cancel this massive subsidy scheme, because it also targets red states. So I think, never mind who wins the next election, I think the program will stay.
Even if Donald Trump wins?
Yeah, this is precisely what I said. I mean, the Biden's program targets also red states, so states where Republicans usually win. And I think, never mind who wins, it will be too unpopular to cancel these subsidies for companies who already invested in red states.
Right. Now let's focus on Poland. Now, the new British government within 2 weeks have made major adjustments to its energy policy, like unblocking wind farms, and Poland, which also has a new government, is still in surge, it seems, of a policy of energy transition. Now, why is it so hard to put forward a comprehensive plan of action? Is it maybe because of the coalition? It comprises of 4 parties, and they have all different interests here?
No, I think the main reason is basically that the whole policy was in disarray for so many years. And in order to do it properly, to prepare a good strategy, you need time. And this is what we are doing. So the National Energy and Climate Plan, it's a master plan that we are working on. In a couple of weeks, we're going to send this to public consultation. It's a plan that shows you how much Poland needs to reduce CO2 emissions, how much renewables we need to invest in, how much emissions in transport we need to cut. So all these details that will be sketched until 2030, and we need to allocate budget for investment in getting to these targets. So all this requires careful planning, and also requires society, which is something new. Over the last years, there was no public debate on these issues. We want to involve society. We want to have this properly discussed, and once we have this plan in place, then we can adopt policies getting us to 2030 emission reduction and getting us to renewables targets, putting us on the path to climate neutrality that we would like to reach as part of Europe in 2050.
Right. However, there was a huge public debate over nuclear power in Poland. Now, what's the status of this project? Has the financing been sorted out? And when will the construction begin?
Well, everything is going well. We started first groundworks. Nuclear power plant project is not a a Mickey Mouse investment. You don't do it overnight. It requires a careful planning and rather long period of execution. The financial plan is being sorted out. First contractors have been assigned. As I said, geological work already started to see the stability of the first site, and the construction of the first block should finish around the mid of the next decade. Mm-hmm. So it's a slight slip up from the original plan devised by the previous government, but we are trying to address the delays that were created and push on with the program.
But don't you think that the current political turmoil in the US may delay it even further?
No, I don't think so. I think that never mind who's in charge in the US, they always keep on supporting American business. And we have a contract with an American company. So I don't think that the turmoil, if you call it, it's elections, it's not turmoil, will change anything. I think that the American side will keep their end of the bargain, and we need to wrap up the funding construction. But I think that is something that usually happens in business.
Mm-hmm. Now I'd like to ask you about the Clean Air program, which was sort of an introduction to our discussion here. Now, how is it progressing, and why still do we Poles, why do we still have such bad air in our country?
Well, it's a heritage of sorts that we have in Poland, unfortunately, because outside of big cities where we have district heating, everyone has their own stove, and the heating is mostly of fossil fuel origin, of coal. People burn coal, and sometimes also waste, which causes massive problem with air pollution. We have a generational program called Clean Air, and you mentioned it in the video before our conversation. It's a massive investment program. The budget of this program is more or less $25 billion until 2029, 2030. And we've been investing basically to improve air quality and to also reduce carbon pollution. These two objectives are guiding the program. We have the objective of changing insulation or changing the heating source of 3 million homes. This is a massive program. We have already started. Around $3 billion have been already paid out to families. The families that we support are the ones that need money the most. So there are three brackets, if you will, in the subsidy scheme based on the annual income, and the less you earn, the bigger support you can get. And the maximum of subsidy is even up to $30,000 per household. You can change your heating source with this. You can insulate your house. You can also do an energy audit, so it can guide you better in your investment. So this is something that we do, and you can already see bit by bit that air quality is improving. We have a lot of ground to cover still, but this program is the major tool, and we have the budget for this program sorted for 2-3 years. Unfortunately, what we've inherited is that the coffers of this program were empty. So now this is my main task. I'm trying to sort out the budget for the program long term.
Right. So that was I wanted to ask you about this precisely because, as you said, it is a costly program. So where does the money come from, and does it have to do anything with the National Recovery Fund?
It does. It does. So the recovery plan, it's a special dedicated budget allocated from the European Commission to all member states, to all countries of the EU, and Poland is one of the biggest beneficiaries after Italy. We will get in total around 25 billion euro for subsidies and far more, around 34 billion euro for loans. And out of this, more than 3 billion will go to Clean Air program. And this is one of the major sources of funding for this. There's also other European structure funds, which brings the total budget for next 2 years to 5 billion euro. And going into the future, there are other sources of funding, like, again, a European source, which is modernization fund. This is a pot of money created by selling CO2 emission allowances. So there's a number of, if you will, a patchwork of sources of funding that I'm trying to sew together and provide a comprehensive pot of money for this program.
Mm-hmm. The green transition, or Green Deal, if you will, was one of the main topics, of hot topics of this year's election campaign to the European Parliament. Now, what changes to this Green Deal should we expect under the new European Commission? And in this regard, what are Poland's objectives here?
Well, I think it's safe to say that we already know more or less what to expect from the next Commission. President von der Leyen was elected by the European Parliament last week, and she made her speech and she mentioned what her priorities will be in terms of Green Deal. She wants to keep the Green Deal alive, and she even mentioned that the Commission will push on with proposing new reduction target, 90% of emission reductions in 2040. However, she mentioned that this will be facilitated by better industrial policy, so helping industries, helping small and medium-sized companies to invest in clean tech. And this is something that we've been advocating in Poland. So, okay, you can switch away from imported fossil fuels, imported mainly from Russia, in our case, in Europe's case, but you cannot obliviously walk into another dependence and hook up on important clean tech from China, for example. So Europe will build industrial muscle, and this is something that we are keen to do in Poland as well. One of the things we would like to discuss is the new emission trading scheme, which will should be. I'm not sure if it will in this shape or form that it was agreed, but it should enter into force. So a emission trading scheme that covers buildings and transport. So what it means in effect is that you basically need to impose additional cost on people driving cars on fossil fuels and people on heating homes with coal and gas.
Health is costly. Deputy Minister of Climate and Environment, Krzysztof Bolesta, was our guest this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you and have a good day.
And thank you for watching. That is all for now, and stay with us for much more here on TVP World.